Welcome to dear student. We have now we are continuing our chapter 1, that is complex number. Okay, and in our complex number, in our previous classes we have completed about I, about Z, and the properties of Z means properties of complex number, square root of a complex number. So everything we have completed. So today we will start cube root of unity. Okay, so let us write what is the cube root of unity. We are writing root q of 1 and we have to find this value. Suppose that value equals to x. So we have to solve that equation. X is q equal to 1. Then that implies x is q minus 1q equal to 0. So now this is the formula aq minus bq, that equals to a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square equal to 0. So for this, x minus 1 whole into x square plus x plus 1 equal to 0. Now each factor equal to 0. So x minus 1 equal to 0 and x square plus x plus 1 equal to 0. Now for x minus 1 equal to 0, we get by solving this equation x equals to 1. And for solving this quadratic equation by using Sridharacharya formula, we will get two value. One is minus 1 plus root 3i by 2, another is minus 1 minus root 3i by 2. Okay, so we are getting there are three values or three roots of cube root of 1. Those are, first one is 1, second one is minus 1 plus root 3i by 2, third one is minus 1 minus root 3i by 2. So let us denote this value into some symbol. So we are denoting these three value as 1 omega square. Okay, so hence three cube roots of unity are 1 omega equal to minus 1 plus root 3i by 2, omega square equal to minus 1 minus root 3i by 2. Clear? Then come to properties of cube root of unity. Clear? So if these are three cube roots of unity, then there are some certain properties are there. So first property is the sum of cube roots of unity is 0. That means three cube roots are 1 omega square, their sum is equal to 0. So let us see 1 plus omega square equal to 1 plus omega value is minus 1 by 2 plus root 3 by 2i plus omega square is minus 1 by 2 minus root 3 by 2i. Clear? So by solving this two bracket, so root 3i by 2i minus root 3i by 2 minus root 3i by 2 both are cancelled. Then minus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2, that is minus 1. Clear? Then 1 minus 1 equal to 0. Then we have 1 plus omega square equal to 0. Clear? Then come to product of three cube roots of unity is 1. So let us see 1 into omega square. So 1 omega value, omega square value. Now these two factor are just as a plus b into a minus b, means a, b are same, a, b are same. Only the symbol is plus, here is symbol is minus. So this is the formula a square minus b square. A square minus b square. Here is symbol is minus, and why I am writing plus? Because b square means your b is root 3i by 2. Its square is root 3 by 2 whole square into I square. So I square equals to minus 1. So minus and minus, it will become plus. So that equals to 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4 equal to 1. Hence, the product of three cube roots of unity are equal to 1. That means 1 into omega square equal to omega q, that equal to 1. Okay. So come to next property. The complex roots omega and omega square are conjugate to each other. These two omega and omega square are complex root because they have imaginary part and real part. Clear? Now they are conjugate to each other. Conjugate means, you know, if z equals to a plus ib, then its conjugate will be written as z bar equals to a minus ib. So let us take omega and we will take its conjugate. Omega conjugate can be written as, this is the value of omega, then its conjugate. Conjugate means you have to change your sign of the imaginary part. So it will be written as minus 1 by 2 minus I into root 3 by 2, which is the value of omega square. So hence omega conjugate equals to omega square. Similarly, we can show the conjugate of omega square equal to omega. Clear? So the next come to fourth property, each complex cube root of unity is the reciprocal to the other. reciprocal to the other means one is equal to 1 by another. Clear? So if these three are three cube roots of unity, then we know omega into omega square equal to omega q, that equals to 1. Hence omega can be written as 1 by omega square, and omega square can be written as 1 by omega. So these are known as reciprocal to each other. Clear? Now come to some formula. If omega is in the highest power of omega, means n is greater than 3, so that can be written as omega to the power r. What is r? That is your remainder. Clear? So when you divide your n by 3, when you divide your n by 3, you will have some quotient and some remainder. Okay, so now you can write omega to the power n equal to omega to the power 3x plus r, where x is quotient and r is remainder. That can be written as omega to the power 3x into omega to the power r. That equals to omega to the power q whole to the power x into omega to the power r. And we know omega to the power q is 1. So 1 to the power anything is 1 into omega to the power r. That equals to omega to the power r. Fine. Then come to one example, omega to the power 7 suppose. So 7 can be written as 3 into 2, that is 6 plus 1. So omega to the power 3 into 2 can be written as omega to the power 3 whole to the power 2 into omega to the power 1. That equal to omega q is 1. So 1 square is again 1 into omega, that equals to omega. So let's have total formulas are there. For omega 1 and omega square, we have 1 plus omega square equal to 0. You have to remember this formula. From this formula we can obtain another formula, 1 plus omega equal to minus omega square, 1 plus omega square equal to minus omega, 1 omega plus omega square equals to minus 1, and omega q equal to 1. So all these are formula you have to remember. Clear? Then let's have a one example. Prove that 2 minus omega square, 2 minus omega to the power 10, 2 minus omega to the power 11 equal to 49. So let us take the left hand side, 2 minus omega square, 2 minus omega to the power 10, 2 minus omega to the power 11. So now here we can see omega to the power 10, omega to the power 11. Those are the values 10 and 11 more than 3. That means we have to divided by 3, so that we can write in the next line. Other factor will be written as usual. So 2 minus omega to the power 10 can be written 3 into 3 plus 1, and omega to the 11 can be written 3 into 3 plus 2. The next line, 2 minus omega square, 2 minus omega means omega to the power 3 is 1. So 1 to the power 3 is again 1. So only the remainder is 1. So omega to the power 1, that is omega. Similarly here remainder is 2. So omega square, that means 2 minus omega square. Now we can see in this line 2 minus omega, they are repeated. 2 minus omega square, they are also repeated. So ultimately we can write whole to the power 2, means each factor repeated. So now multiply these two factor, 4 minus 2 omega square minus 2 omega plus 1. Plus 1 means minus omega into minus omega square, that is omega q, and omega q is value is 1. That's why I am writing this is equal to 1. Then whole square. Then 4 plus 1 is 5, minus 2 taking common, omega plus omega square, its value is minus 1. So minus minus plus, so 5 plus 2 whole square, that equals to 7 whole square, that equals to 49. That means we can obtain our right hand side. Okay, so this is an example of cube root of unity. Let's start our last topic of this chapter, that is de Moivre's theorem. If n is an integer that may be positive or negative or 0, then cos theta plus I sin theta whole to the power n equal to cos n theta plus I sin n theta. Clear? That means your power will be multiplied with this angle. Clear? So this is your de Moivre's theorem. So let us see how the de Moivre's theorem can be applied in our question. So there is the example in front of you. If x plus 1 by x equals to 2 cos theta, so that x to the power n plus 1 by x to the power n equal to 2 cos n theta. So let x plus 1 by x equals to 2 cos n theta. That is given. So let us solve this equation. Take LCM x. In the numerator, x square plus 1 equal to 2 cos theta. Then cross multiply x square plus 1 equal to 2x into cos theta. Then bring this term into left hand side. X square minus 2x cos theta equals to minus 1. Then you add in both the side cos square theta, and in place of 1 you can write sin square theta plus cos square theta by using the trigonometric formula. Then open this bracket so that it will become minus cos square theta plus cos square theta. Both are cancelled. So minus sin square theta will be there. So x, this is, left hand side we have a minus b whole square, means x minus cos theta whole square. That equals to minus sin square theta. Then x minus cos theta equals to under root minus sin square theta. And we know minus root over is I, sin square theta root over is sin theta. So x minus cos theta equals to plus minus I sin theta. That implies x equals to cos theta plus minus I sin theta. So let us take x equals to cos theta plus I sin theta. We are having x equals to cos theta plus I sin theta. Okay, now we have to prove your left hand side equals to right hand side. So let us take your left hand side, that is x to the power n plus 1 by x to the power n. So this can be written as x to the power n plus x to the power minus n. Now x value we are substituting here, cos theta plus I sin theta, cos theta plus I sin theta. Its power is n, its power is minus n. Now we apply de Moivre's theorem, that is, the theta will be multiplied with n, here theta will be multiplied with minus n. So we are writing this much, cos n theta plus I sin n theta plus cos minus n theta plus I sin minus n theta. Then cos n theta plus I sin n theta plus, we know cos of minus theta is plus cos theta, so it becomes only cos n theta. Similarly, we know sin of minus theta is minus sin n theta, so its value is minus I sin n theta. Now in this line we have plus I sin n theta minus I sin n theta. They are cancelled. Now cos n theta plus cos n theta equals to 2 cos n theta. That means our right hand side we can reach. Okay. Now your proof complete. Okay, so similarly we have completed this chapter, and all of you have to practice more and more times. Clear? So then thank you.